Into this video, we're going to be discussing the top settings that you must change in your Leica M EV1. And these are going to be settings that actually make the use of the camera way more enjoyable. As well, we're going to be discussing some of the accessories that I think that you should check out. Let's go. And I was lucky enough to get the camera before the launch here in the United States. And I spent a lot of time in trying to figure out the best way to configure this camera. So we're gonna start talking about the first setting that I always change on all my Leica cameras. That's the first thing I do. And that one is going to be the auto ISO setting. So you're gonna go to page number 2 and you're gonna find that option there, auto ISO setting. So basically what you're gonna do here is you're gonna cap how fast you want your auto ISO to crank up. And as you see, I have set up a limit of 50,000. Why the 50,000? Well, this sensor actually performed really good at high ISO. Now, down the line, we're gonna actually pick my minimum shutter speed. And when it comes to shutter speed, I like to be at least at 250 of a second. Now the third setting is going to be flash. And we're gonna be talking a little bit about flash. I don't like my ISO to go more than 200. Maybe I could let it go, I don't know, 800. Like I mentioned before, this camera's performed really good, but I much rather get a lower noise and actually fire with a flash. Now my shutter speed is about 1/30th of a second. You know, usually I freeze the motion with flash, so this setting can actually be up and down, plus minus, you know, whatever you prefer best. And with your auto ISO settings already preset, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a user profile so we can start applying all the changes to that one user profile, and that way we can always recall all the settings at once. So to do so, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go here, page number 4 in the menu, user profile, and the first thing that you're gonna do is you are gonna go back to manage and you're gonna save your profile. Now you're gonna notice that I have one called black and white BW, and that's kind of like my standard profile here, but I'm gonna be creating another profile and I'm gonna choose slot number 2. So we hit save and now we are in user number 2. Now I'm gonna go back one mode, and what I'm gonna do right now is go back to user profile, go manage profile, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rename that profile. I wanna call profile number 2 color profile. Done. And now when I go to my user profiles right over here, you're gonna see that I have number 2, it's the color profile, and number 1 is actually my black and white profile. So that way, if I have to jump to black and white or color, I always recall all the settings that I have configured for that particular profile. And just to remind you that this type of videos are possible thanks to your subscriptions, your likes, and your comments regarding this topic. So if you haven't done so, please go and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and drop a comment down below regarding these topics. I do these videos free of charge, so your support is gladly appreciated. Thank you. And now comes my favorite part, which is let's configure dials and button. And we're gonna start with the rear dial. The way I have the dial configured, I believe is the way it comes in the camera. So when you roll it like so, you are going to be changing your exposure compensation. I like that. Usually I control my shutter speed from the top, so I don't have the need to kind of like set my shutter speed with the back. And then I have set up the function when you push in your shutter speed. Take a look at this. It says ISO. If your camera doesn't have it, go and select it here. You have many options to choose from. Now, why ISO makes sense here, and it is for the simple fact that I can press and then I can roll the wheel to select the specific ISO range. And now let's continue with the function button, and this one is a little bit different than on my other Leica M digital body. So I'm gonna press it so you can see what I have configured, and in this case I have it configured to turn on or off the EVF or the screen, or set them to turn off automatically. And the reason being is that this is a camera that will actually push you to look through that beautiful EVF. I have found that I compose most of the time like a proper M camera using the EVF, and for that reason alone, what I do is most of the time I only have it in EVF mode. I also believe that it consumes less power from the batteries, powering a smaller screen than the rear screen of the camera. Not 100% sure, but I do see kind of like an improvement on battery life. And if you're someone like me that wears glasses or contact, make sure to calibrate your diopter so you can see everything sharp on the EVF. And to do so is super simple. Take a look through the EVF while turning this wheel, and when you see everything sharp, you are calibrated. All right, and let's talk about this button right over here. I think I found the perfect function for it, and that one is going to be the following. I'm gonna depress it so you can see it yourself, and that function, it's called center frame. Now what center frame does is it recalls that focusing point that you may see right here. Even though this camera is manual focus, you have that crosshair right there that is on the side of the screen. So when I press this button, look what happened. It recalls it right into the center. All right, and let's move on to the front, and we're gonna have two new buttons. And that one is gonna be what before used to be the frame line selector. Now it's actually two buttons. When you push in one direction, means one thing, and when you push it on the other direction means another thing. So the first thing that I wanna show you is how I have configured the motion towards the lens, and I'm gonna do it right now so you can see it right here. If I push it towards the lens, you are gonna realize that that functionality is the focus aid. And I think it's a perfect spot for that function to be at, because when you're gonna be focusing, you're either gonna have your finger under the tab or you're gonna be holding the focusing ring, and your thumb is gonna be there. So for me, it's so natural right now just to do that punch in and then refine focus. That way I can have the function right where it belongs. Now there's another function right here is when you actually switch outwards, and I'll show you that one. So we're gonna do that right now. Switch outwards, and that one is gonna be focus peaking. Now I don't use focus peaking a lot, but in certain situations where there is clear contrast, I don't think on Leica cameras is perfected, nor I have seen any camera with reliable focus peaking. And the other option that I wanna show you, I always enable it, is gonna be the hybrid shutter for good reasons. But there are gonna be times that you wanna shoot wide open, and sometimes having the hybrid shutter is a resource to darken your exposure and being able to shoot wide open. And last but not least, let's talk about some of the accessories that I have in my camera, which expand its ergonomics and functionality. So the first one is gonna be the shutter topper right here. This one is by Owl Crown, and it is made out of brass. It is matte also, and it features a 14.75 millimeter diameter, which matches the shutter well. And as you can see, it's pretty good. It has that little dimple right there, very comfortable. And you may actually notice that you can kind of like trigger the shutter a little bit faster. And the second item is gonna be this product right here called the Hot Grip. So the Hot Grip is a thumb grip, but also it allows you to shoot flashes without having to choose one over the other. And now we're gonna remove this plastic lid that covers and protects the pin, and you can store it right over here on the back of the grip like so. And then we're gonna install this pass-through, which is going to connect with the electronics, and this is going to give me the capability of being able to fire flashes. So to do so, what I'm gonna do is pop in this flash right here. And as you see right now, I have the thumb grip that gives me great ergonomics, 45-degree angle for that natural posture. The shutter topper right here, which gives me more tactile feedback. And now I can enjoy flash photography with great ergonomics. And of course, someone that wants to carry cameras daily, you have to choose a very comfortable strap. And this one is a super minimalist strap. It is the round rope by Owl Crown. It features climber's rope and leather ends. But the best part about the strap is that we relax the fibers, so the strap is very sloppy and also very soft. So it feels good whether you are gonna be carrying your camera like so across your body, or even if you're gonna be carrying your strap around your wrist, it feels really comfortable. And if you guys wanna check out any of these products, go to owlcrown.com and enter code GShutters10 for 10% off these products, all made out of here in Miami, Florida. And lastly, one of the things that I put in every single digital camera is going to be a matte shield. I actually use this brand that you can get off Amazon, and they work really good, specifically when you're shooting in bright situations that you may get a lot of reflection casting on the screen, sometimes a little bit difficult, and I like to have a matte screen shield. So this is gonna wrap it up for me today. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so, I really appreciate. And if you have any particular topic you want me to discuss about the Leica M EV1, leave me a comment down below. And until then, I'll see you in the next one.